everyone. How are you all doing today? Welcome to our little event for you. This is kind of a little taster of our big event that's coming up. So I'm Sarah Tricker, co-founder of Sarah Tricker Alchemy. I am a alternative holistic healer, teacher, and facilitator.
Hello, I am Tonya Rutter. I am here in Mexico, and you might hear some stuff happening. There's loud bangs going on because someone is lighting fireworks. They just do that here for any reason at all during the day. Don't know why. And we've got the housekeeper. You know, she's doing her work as well, so you might be hearing her working in the background as well. But hey, everyone has to do stuff, right? But I am Tonya Rutter. I'm in Mexico, like I said. I am witch and high priestess, empowerment and confidence coach, holistic healer, master of energy, author, publisher, mother. What else?
The list goes on.
Yes, the total thing. But yes, I'm so excited to be here with everyone and to really help you, achieve your goals. So that's what we're doing today. Yeah.
So we're going to begin by creating a container for you for the work that we're going to do in this session today. So we have already done this beforehand. So Tonya is going to guide you into the container that we have already created for you.
Yes. All right. So what you want to do is get comfortable for this. Just get comfortable. And this is where imagination really comes into play. And to feel what you're feeling. So just get comfortable, close your eyes, relax, take a deep breath in, just breathe in very deep and release. Take another deep breath in, release, and once more, take another deep breath in, and release. And what I'm going to do is I've already created an energy vortex. So I'm bringing everybody into the vortex with me. Even if you're watching this as a replay, you will still be brought into the vortex. So, all right, everyone's in. Now for the container, this was so amazing as I was creating it. It's this beautiful, lush, tropical island. And in the center of the island is a lake. And inside that lake is this beautiful building. It's like the Taj Mahal. These beautiful plants all around it. There's trees everywhere, exotic birds. And there's this, I guess you could call it a clearing, going from the land to the building, the Taj Mahal. Just walk along there. You're basically walking on water is what you're doing. And just go right inside the building. You're going through the columns, you're going inside. You're seeing everything in there, all this gold, this beautiful gilded work, the marble, the richness. Just notice how this wealth, just this feeling of wealth. And in that feeling of wealth, feel your vibration rise up and know that you can be part of this wealth as well, that you are part of this wealth. Not just in the money aspect, but also in the healing aspect, the health aspect, the relationship aspect. This is a high vibrational area. Now, as you're walking through, you're going to come up into another room, and this is your container. This is your personal container inside the Taj Mahal. What does it look like? What's appearing? And go ahead and go inside that container. And inside that container are your dreams, the things you want to do in life, the things you want to create. See them there. However they show up for you. And as you're looking around, notice the people. Those are people that are going to help you create this dream. Now there's another door. You're going to walk through that door. And in that door is a celebration. There's a celebration going on, celebrating that you have taken the step just to do this event with us today. Celebrate this time. Every time you do something, every time you make a forward movement, celebrate it, because that creates a marker on your timeline. And that lets your soul know, hey, I did this, I achieved this. I'm ready to go to the next step. And as you look, there's another door. Go through that door, and that is going to be your first step that you're going to be doing today. That's your first step. See that unfold before you. And notice that we are in there with you as your guides. And in addition, there will be other people in there with you that are going to be guiding you on your journey as well. This is simply the first step of the rest of your life. And now you're going to go through another door that takes you outside of your container. And as you walk out, what do you see? Are you still inside the Taj Mahal? Are you outside somewhere else? Where are you? Now I'm going to have you ground so you can get ready for this event. See this golden light come down from above. This light is coming down into the top of your crown. It's going down through your head. It's coming down through your throat. It's going down through your chest. Down through your stomach. Down through your pelvis. Through the tailbone. Down through your legs. At the bottom of your feet, it's coming into one line. It's going through another portal, the 5D portal. It's going all the way down into the center of the earth. And it's grounding into 5D earth, into the heart of the earth. And there it's rooting itself inside the heart of the earth. You're now grounded in the 5D dimension and 5D earth. So you're creating this in 5D. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Awesome, thank you. So I am going to add to the container that Tonya has already created for you. And I've created a white candle, which is obviously purity. And it is dressed in bergamot essential oil and alfalfa herbs. And these are to bring success to you, abundance, and money. And the beauty of lighting candles is we can see how things are going to progress. So by the end of the session, if the candle is fully burnt down, we can use that as an indicator of how well this went for you. So as I like this, really putting into the atmosphere the success and abundance that you would, and prosperity that you want to draw into yourself. And as we go through this today, we've got a couple of exercises for you that is really going to help you to get to where you want to go. It was making me laugh a little bit as you were doing the container. And the fireworks kept going off, and I was thinking to myself, for some people, if you've got a feeling of frustration, we want to help you tap into that everything is always perfect the way it is. And I was just thinking, like, fireworks for me, coming from England, my birthday was always around fireworks. So, like, fireworks is always a celebration. And when you're thinking about, like, vibration, like the explosion that's happening right now, is if we think about it. Hey, Tracy, thanks for joining. If you think about it, the fact that fireworks are going off as we're creating this container and as we are welcoming success and prosperity, I think it's actually a pretty cool thing that fireworks.
It is, because they light the fireworks for celebration. It could be a birth, it could be someone's, birthday, it could be a wedding, it could be anything going on, and so they're always lighting fireworks. But for it to be happening right now as I'm doing opening the container, it's like, it just raises the energy of everything.
Exactly. So the first thing we're going to really talk about today is your limiting beliefs. So what are limiting beliefs? These are really the things that are installed into you as a child. So basically your culture, where your parents come from, where you live. And these are the things that have been installed into you that you have absolutely no control of a lot of the time. So some examples of limiting beliefs may be money, may be a limiting belief. So for example, if you were brought up in a family that didn't have a lot of money, for example, you may have been brought up with, like, money doesn't grow on trees. Oh, that life isn't for us. That life's over there. Money is hard. It doesn't come easily. When you think about all of these little sayings that we have, it comes in one hand, goes straight out the other. These are kind of examples of what a limiting belief can be.
Definitely. And limiting beliefs are also contracts we make with ourselves. And the thing is, we can make these contracts with ourselves at a very, very young age. At such a young age, you don't necessarily remember it unless you're really going deep within. But even then, you might have these little contracts that you have that you don't necessarily realize are there until you start really feeling them. And when you're doing the work, the inner work, and you start feeling the stuff coming up, you might wonder, what is this? That's a contract.
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button there. I didn't mean to do that. Just halfway through, as explosions are going off.
Explosions are going off.
That's too funny, hey? Yeah, so these limiting beliefs we tend to carry with us. And I think a lot of times we may not even realize that we have limiting beliefs and that they're actually dictating a lot of things that we do in our lives. So I used money as an example because that has been something that I've been trying to work through for a long time, is these sort of limiting beliefs that were passed down to me from my parents, you know.
Mm-hmm. Another common, hi Candy, thank you for showing up. Another limiting belief that's very common is, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or who am I to help people?
And it really is so convoluted when we think about the mother wound, when we think about the patriarchal system. Even as women, we have been taught a lot of these limiting beliefs through the culture that we've been brought up in as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a big thing to start to unpack.
It is. It's a very big thing that you begin to unpack. And, you know, those limiting beliefs get stored in our cells. And so that's why sometimes you might do certain work, you might do meditation, you might write stuff down and things like that, but maybe it's not necessarily healing that limiting belief. It's still there. And it's like layers of an onion. You know, you heal one layer and oh, guess what? There's another layer there. So you heal that layer. Oh, guess what? There's another one.
I always say to people, you know, we rush to heal ourselves. We rush to get it done. And it was a story my friend told me of her mum. And her mum always used to say, when the work is done, I'll die. And literally one day she sat down and she said, my work is done. It was on her birthday. Her father went to get cake, came back, and her mum was dead. So when you think about your life on the earth plane as a human and the healing we're doing, you don't need to rush to get it all done. Because probably when you've done all the healing work, that will be the end of this life on the earth plane. So you don't need to rush. There's lots of layers. And I think the more layers that we do and the time that we take to do it is a part of the journey here.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. And if we start looking at our limiting beliefs more than a hang up, more than something holding us back, but actually something we can learn from. And if we start actually being thankful for it, because if it's showing up in our life, that means it's just the higher self saying, hey, you've got this thing in your energy that you still need to heal. That's what it is. So if you have a certain issue that keeps coming up and keeps coming up and keeps coming up, it just means it's still in your energy field. It's still in your cells. It's still, you know, we have these energetic distortions that are attached to our soul. It just means, hey, that's still a distortion attached to your soul. It might be a pretty big one. Maybe it goes back, you know, many, 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 many lifetimes or many, 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 many generations. And so that is something that you're carrying around with you. And that's another thing. We tend to carry around the stuff that's not even our baggage. We're carrying around stuff that belongs to our ancestors and other people. You know, think of this backpack that you have. That backpack is probably really, really big and very full of other people's crap. In addition to your own.
Especially if you're a female, that you may be tempted to carry everybody else's stuff also.
Yes. Yes. And that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah, 100%. There's so much to unpack. It's as it is. It's like the layers of the onions. It's like we start from one place and it takes us on a labyrinth of places to go.
Definitely.
So we're going to help you out today. So we have a little activity for you to do right now. So we're going to help you remove one of your limiting beliefs.
Yes. So what you want to do, get some pen and paper, you know, because this really helps you kind of, when you can write stuff out, it helps you center. So just start writing out issues that you have, you know, whether it's money, relationships, your job, your health, you know, what is it? And just start writing stuff down. So as you're writing those things down, all these different issues that you could have going on, those are actually frequencies. We consider them frequency problems, because any issue that you have in your life is because of frequency. So what you want to do is just write all those down Now, pick one of those, the one that really affects you the most. Write that one down. Now what you want to do is you're going to start kind of going through and seeing why this affects you. So go a little deeper with that. Ask yourself, why does this affect me? And don't look at the obvious answer, because it's never the obvious answer. It's always this hidden answer. Oh, listen, there's the horn going off. Attention!
Pay attention! Everybody pay attention!
So you don't want to look at that superficial obvious. Instead, go deeper. Now you want to go deeper again and ask yourself, well, why is this? And then go deeper again and ask yourself, why is this? Go deeper again and ask yourself, why is this? So for each answer you write down, ask yourself, why is this? And you'll come up with a different answer. And that is the core of your limiting belief. That is the frequency holding the belief there.
And it's never what you expect it to be. When you start unpacking things, you go in with one kind of idea of what you think your limiting beliefs are, and then you start to unpack, and then it comes to something you're like, whoa, that's like insane. I would have never have put that. So I can give an example. And so I've been working through my money blocks, and I started to unpack. So went to the core life that happens that I'm carrying in this life, and what came out of that was neglect. And then when I thought about neglect in the life I live now, I was like, holy, I would have never placed that frequency into my blocks of money. It's really super interesting. And I think also because people get frustrated, I know sometimes, so sick of journaling, so sick of writing stuff down. However, when you look at like the psychology of the human brain, writing is actually part of the higher order thinking. So we trick ourselves as humans saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, I've done the work. I did that. I'll remember what comes through, but we actually don't a lot of the time. So the process of sitting down and journaling and writing things through actually helps your mind process information in a more efficient way. So that's why we kind of are saying it's really worth taking the time and sitting down and actually writing, because then your brain will go to the next place and the next place and the next place, and you don't get so distracted by everything else that's going on.
Yes, definitely. It is a process, and what happens is you start becoming aware of other things, like, with you, Sarah, becoming aware of, it's neglect. But then you realize, wait, there's something deeper than neglect. After you came to that awareness, and that's kind of how it happens. You come up to one awareness of a frequency, and then as you go deeper, even deeper yet, you're going to come up with another one that's even deeper than that one. And that's just how it works. As you become aware of things, more awarenesses drop in. And so that's really what this is about as well, is, it's helping you become aware of your limiting beliefs. Now, that doesn't mean you have to know what your limiting beliefs are. When you really begin to do the inner work, it doesn't matter so much that you remember, because your body remembers, even if you don't. But that's something else. So what this is,
should we take them on a little
yes,
exercise and help them?
So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the exercise of helping you, get through these limiting beliefs. So what you just wrote down, you went down, you went deep, you found this deep frequency that probably you're like, wait a minute, oh my God, that's like, how did I go from this limiting belief to this frequency? But that is the core frequency. That's one of the core frequencies there. So what you're going to do is you're going to work on that core frequency. So what you want to do is you want to imagine, okay, think of that as a contract that you created with yourself at some point in your life. So what you want to do is just close your eyes. Imagine that contract is in front of you. You wrote down all those things, and you see that in front of you on the silver piece of paper where you wrote all that stuff down. Now, you're going to notice there's this line going from you to that piece of paper. Wherever you feel that connection in your body is where you're holding that belief. So now, wherever you're holding that belief, go deep inside you. Go into your cells in that area. See how it's connected to your cells there. And light it on fire. Imagine you're taking a lighter and you're just lighting that area on fire. And see it going from your cells to that connection, to that contract. And watch that contract just burn up. You're burning that away. You're burning away that core frequency plus all those beliefs that came out of it. You're just burning it away. And as you burn it away, what do you feel inside? How does it feel inside to be getting rid of that out of your cells? Now that you've burned that away, now you need to, what you want to do is you want to create a new contract, a high vibe contract. So what you're going to do is you see that silver paper in front of you. You want to write a contract, a new one that can never be broken. So whatever your limiting belief was, create a new belief, a high vibrational belief. Such as if it was, I can't make money, make it be, I am wealthy with abundance beyond compare. Or if it's my health is bad, you can say my body is healthy and allows me to do everything I want to do. Whatever your limiting belief was, create an ironclad contract, a high vibrational contract. See it being written out and sign it. And now notice that is now reattaching to that new contract where that old belief was. It's reattaching to you and to your cells. Feel that. Feel the vibration of that new contract. Feel it going through your cells, through your body. And allow that new contract to just seep in. Allow the vibration of frequency to seep into your cells. And when you're done with that, you can open your eyes.
That was awesome. Thank you. How did everyone else feel about that? What is your limiting belief that came up, and how did you do that? We'd love to know your experience. So please feel free to write in the chat so that we can find a little bit more. We obviously want to know how you're loving this. Hope you're enjoying it. So the next thing, while you're typing your answers out, we're going to talk about is time. Now, as a coach, and Tonya, I'm sure, agrees with this, there are definitely themes that people will talk about when they can't reach their dreams. So one of the first ones is obviously money, but we've already done our 6-week money mythbuster to help you through that. One of the other things is obviously the limiting beliefs that you've been carrying for a lifetime that you have to undo. And now we have time. People are like, I just don't have enough time in the day. And even that, even saying out into the universe, oh, there's just not enough hours in the day. Well, guess what? You're not going to have enough hours in the day. Your words are magic. And when they're spoken, that's the vibration that you're actually putting out into the day. So I always say that if you think about every human on this earth, so whether you have somebody who is unsuccessful and somebody who is greatly successful, they have the same amount of time in the day, 24 hours. We all experience time in the same way. But do we? I don't know. That's a whole other thing. But it's what we do with our time. And when you think about how we're constantly saying that there's big activations happening on our Earth plane right now, and there are people who are asleep and there are people who are awake. And I think back to even being a social studies teacher, and when you talk about like consumerism, and we think about things like tobacco, we think about like alcohol, we think about drugs. These are all things that are used sometimes by our, whoever you want to see the people are, to keep people asleep, right? We think about like Netflix, we think about our phones, even the way on our phones we pull down, it's the same as a gambling machine. They are using the same addictive things to keep us asleep. So when we think about time, just even beginning to start to think about how you use your time, like where are you wasting your time, right?
Oh, yes. And social media is one of those things that is so easy. You'll think to yourself, okay, only going to spend 10 minutes on social media. And then 2 hours later, you're still on Facebook, you're still on, YouTube, you're still on, whatever, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. And then you think, oh my God, I just lost 2 hours. How did I do that?
Right. And know that we're not here as a judgment. It's definitely not a judgment, because I am just as bad as everybody else. Like everybody knows I'm in the middle of migrating my website to a new platform. So I've been getting up early, right? So that was one of the decisions I made. It's like, okay, it's time to get up at 5 again. So I've got that extra couple of hours, and I'll be sitting here doing my work, and then I'll pick up my phone. And then I start, and then I'm like, no, I've got to get my work done. Put the phone down, put it down. But we have to be really strict with ourselves on things like that, yeah. Right?
And I think that, allowing ourselves those little breaks is fine. But what you might need to do is just set a timer, for like 10 minutes, just to give your brain time to, kind of let go of what you're doing and time to rest, and then you can go back to your activity. And another thing that can work too is to do sprints, especially if you're writing, just to do sprints. You set your timer for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you just write as much as you can during that time.
The actual time, the perfect time to concentrate is 56 minutes. We can concentrate fully for 56 minutes, and then you're supposed to take a 5-minute break, right? But our society has been set up, especially in the Western world, that we believe we should be able to sit down for 8 hours straight and just like, and unless you've got like a superpower like ADHD, most people can't put that amount of energy into something for a huge amount of time. And when we're thinking about how we utilize time, and it's really becoming aware of like the habits that we have, how we use time and what we think about it. So, we're talking about like social media. So I was telling Tonya the other day, so I get up at 5. I have a pretty steady time blocking set out, the way I run my day. So, it's like get up at 5, couple of hours of doing some of my business work, and then I have like breakfast with my hubby. Then I do an hour of housework, shower. Then I do my work. This is where I take appointments, work on my thing, like on my business, and then cook supper. And then by the time I've cooked supper, so 8, 9 o'clock, we've eaten. Do I feel guilty for watching Netflix for an hour or two before bed? No, I don't, because I know I've been efficient through the day and that I've got this, and this done. But also, some days are on my self-care days. Do I feel guilty if I binge watch Netflix for one day? No, because everybody needs to tap out sometimes. But it's that amount of time that you spend on these things that is important, right? As Tonya was saying, like, yeah, we need to have breaks. We need to have those things. We're not robots. we can't do these things. But that really comes back to like following the lunar cycle and the turning of the wheel. Like the spring, summer, that's where we're at it. We're going hard, and then the winter's where we slow down a little bit. So really tapping into that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really different. It's really, I guess, when you start noticing, which, yeah, we notice earth cycles and things like that, but we don't necessarily notice how they affect us. Especially winter. As you were saying, winter is the time to slow down, to rest, to hibernate. And people are still going in their same cycles of, nope, gotta hit it, I've got to keep working the same that I have been during the spring and summer. Where when you think about it, spring and summer, those are the times of rebirth. Those are the times of really being active. That's why the days get longer. And then during the winter, the days get shorter. So it's that time of, okay, let's relax. Let's, take it easier. And to not feel guilty for doing that. So when you think about, we're now coming into the fall, we're in August, we're starting to come into the fall. The days are going to start getting shorter. Nights are longer. Now, if you're a night owl, then, hey, maybe that's your time to really ramp things up. And, those shorter days might be your time to rest. But it's just really, it's different for everyone. So when you start noticing the rhythms and cycles of the earth, and start noticing how you react to the rhythms and cycles of the earth, and start kind of making your schedule to follow rhythms and cycles of earth, because that's how we're designed. We are of the earth, right? We're creatures of the earth. Mm-hmm. And so if you start following the rhythms and cycles of the earth, then you notice that things become easier for you.
So one of the things we would like to share with you today, well, it's actually two things. So it is the structure equals freedom. And most people will get mad about this. I don't want to have structure in my life. It feels like I'm on a time schedule all the time. But that's not what it's supposed to be like. When I say I have really created this year rituals in my life. So if you don't like the word schedule, if that like freaks you out, think of it as rituals. What are your daily rituals that you have in place? From self-care, from the cleaning of your home, from like the efficiency, cooking, nourishing your body, like everything that you do in the day, having a ritual in place actually long term will create more time in your life. You'll have more time to do the things that you want. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you. The other thing is remembering not to be too hard on yourself, but everybody has the same amount of time in the day. So really paying attention to how you're spending your time. And if you really want to do something in life, you will find the time. You will. It's true. People, people like myself and Tonya, I'm sure at some point in her life where you have a career and then you decide you want to be an entrepreneur, there's a period in time where you're doing both. And you find the time, and it's not an easy journey, but you do it to get to where you need to go. So I am sure that all of you who are watching this today at some point in your life have found the hours to get something done that you wanted to do. So the third thing that I wanted to teach you is a little activity that you can actually do each day to help you. So if we think about tasks that need to be done, and a lot of us are very guilty of you need to write a list of everything that needs to be done. So we have a list that's like this long, and then we look at the list and we're like, oh my God, we're so overwhelmed. We're like, nope, not doing anything. Pick up the phone, start scrolling. So this is actually from the Ask and It Shall Be Given by the Hicks, Abraham Hicks. So if you've ever followed any of that stuff, and it's called the Place Matter Activity. So you get a piece of paper every morning and you divide it into two. And on one side, you write 2 to 5 things that you have to do. These are your priority things that you have to get done in the day. So be cautious that these things aren't mammoth tasks. If your task for the day is to deep clean your kitchen, you're not going to have deep clean your kitchen, file, vacuum, do the gardening. You have to be aware of the amount of time that these tasks are going to take you. So that's another precursor. So on one side, your 2 to 5 things that your priority things. And then on the other side, these are the things that you're going to give to the universe. So you're going to ask the universe to take care of the other things that need doing. So you're going to write everything else that is on your mind that you wanted to write in this list on the other side to the universe. And if you stick at this, you'll be absolutely surprised at the amount of things on the other list that get taken care of for you. So when you think about vibration and energy, you're lifting the responsibility off of your shoulders. You're asking for help from the universe, and the universe can show up in many different ways. It might be your husband, it might be your wife, it may be your kiddos, it may be your boss, it may be a complete stranger that will take some of those things off the list for you.
That's an awesome way, to get things done. And like you were saying, when you're writing out those 2 to 5 things that you need to do be conscious of how long they're going to take. Because if you have this big project that you need to get done, you're not going to be able to get 5 other things done if you've got this huge project you need to get done. And even with those big projects, what you can do too is write out, everything needs to be done in that big project. And do you really have to be the one to do everything in that big project?
Right. That goes back to the whole taking on responsibility of everything. Right?
Yeah. So it's even with that big project, write out what needs done in that big project. But hey, you still might not have to do everything in that big project. There might just be one little aspect that you actually need to do in that big project.
Exactly. So we just want to remind you of our Facebook group, the Spiritual Alchemy and Activation. If you haven't joined, please do. This is open for both feminine and masculine divine, and it is really a place where we are helping you. Well, it does what it says. We're helping you activate. This is a place where we are sharing things and we are getting you to move quicker than you've ever thought possible. So we just wanted to remind you of that. And then obviously we want to tell you about our 2-hour event that is coming up very soon. We are super excited about this. So connect to the intuition of your dreams. Dream, activate, and create. So next week on our Facebook group, we will rerun the 6 videos that we created for the Mythbusters. Then we'll add this in after, today's little recording. I couldn't think of the word then. So next week, if you buckle down, if you haven't done it, next week is almost like a 7-day course. And this is really preparing you for the 2-hour event that we have got coming up in September.
Yes, I can't wait for that. So the thing that's coming up in September, when you think about it, there's the dreams of the things we want to do, but then there's also the dreams we have when we sleep. And so, the dreams that you have when you sleep, that's one way that your intuition comes out. But your intuition also comes out in the things you want to do. So this is kind of taking that, and helping you figure out, what is it that you really want to do? And then helping you activate that and create that. And so it's kind of taking a deeper dive than what we did today and helping you, really get into what you're wanting to do. So we really hope that you'll come in and join us. So yeah, I think, the 2-hour event it's an immersion. This is a taster. This 2-hour event is more of an immersion, so that there's going to be a lot more work. But don't be afraid of that word work.
Is not physical work.
No.
Spiritual work.
Yes. So if there's something that you're wanting, you have this dream that you just haven't done yet, because maybe, you just aren't sure how you're going to do that. Or maybe you don't think you can, or there's some limiting belief holding you back. We're going to help you with that. And we're going to help you actually create the container for that and activate that and help you draw in the people that will help you create that.
So you can find the event, so you can register. We've got a Facebook event set up. It's got the tickets on, so you can register. And we really are hoping that this our six-week course, and then this today, is really helping you clear any blockages that may be stopping you from jumping in. And if you're ready and you are looking for a guide, I mean, who better? We've got like 2 high priestesses right here for you. I mean, you can ask, you may have double the trouble, I don't know, but I think you've also got double the power. So if you're looking for guides and you've been asking the universe and you've come across this video today, or you've come across our group, or you've been invited by us, or maybe a friend has invited you into the group, then know that we are the sign. We are what you've been asking for. And it is time. It's time for you to do the work. It's time for you to find the mentors. And we're hoping as well that your group, your tribe are in our group, that we have called you to us and you have found us.
Definitely. Yes.
I think we have covered everything. The candle is still going, my friend. So what I'll do is, when it's fully burnt down, I'll take a picture or share it in our group, and I'll let you know. As I'm looking at it now, the flame is moving around a little bit, which is always, I think, good, because to me, that means spirit has drawn close, so that we are surrounded by our guides right now. But it's burning super clean. It's burning nice and slow, which is a really good sign. So I'll take a picture, show you if there's any wax left, and I'll tell you the interpretation. So if you haven't joined our group, you'll have to now, to find out what's going to happen with the candle.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to message either me or Tonya. If you want to find out more about the event, or you've got any questions, any quandaries or concerns, we're here to help you. And as I say, join the group and you'll learn more about it. Okay, my lovelies. Thank you for those who joined, and for those of you who are watching the replay, just know that the energy is just the same, and we are excited to learn more about you and to see you soon. Okay, Take care, my lovelies. Bye-bye. Bye, Candy. Thanks for joining us.